I'm Aiman, and welcome back to one of my auto repair videos. In this video, I'm going to show you how to remove and replace the rear shock absorber, or strut, for a 2006-2011 Honda Civic. In this video, we're going to be doing the driver's side, and we're also going to be doing a video on the passenger side. But just keep in mind that when you're replacing the rear struts, that you should replace both of them at the same time. But we're going to do them in separate videos as to not make this video too long and unappealing. Alright, so in order to save time, we're going to jack the car up in the middle so that we can place the jack stands on both sides. We're also going to put bricks on each side. And we're going to jack it up in the middle by this little thing right here, this little C-shaped thing that's used for towing the car in the event that it gets stuck in a ditch, for example. Alright. Alright, now we're going to place the jack stand. And it should be obvious where you put the jack stand. There's a little section jutting out where you put it. Now we're going to lower the jack. Oh. Right here, this little section that juts out. And now we're going to lower the jack. We're going to lower it now. See that the car lurched forward a bit. It's a good thing that we put those bricks there. And now we should be good to go. Next step is we're going to take out the tire. Obviously, if you don't have an impact driver like we do, loosen it while it's still on the ground. Okay. That's one down. That one's the lock. And we're going to do this in a star pattern, like always. There we go. There we go. Now we're going to roll it off a bit. And the driver's side behind the tire is revealed. By the way, this right here is the rear strut that we're replacing. Before we proceed, just keep in mind that with the rear strut like this, the way that it's fixed is that it has one bolt at the bottom and one bolt or nut at the top. However, the bolt at the bottom, this one right here, doesn't have a nut to come with it. It actually has, if you look right here, a built-in thread. So you can't put a nut on. So I've seen before people, when they're trying to take out the bolt from here, that it actually snaps right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take PB Blaster, going to apply a bit of it, and then come back later, a few minutes, and then apply it again until we're sure that we can take it out so that it doesn't snap. The next step is to take off some things in the trunk. So first we're going to lift the mat right here. We can't remove it, but we're just going to lift it for now. And what we're going to do next is we're going to pry this back section off right here. And I'm not sure if you have to do this, but for the sake of the video, we're going to do it might as well. So with a bit of strength, you can see that you only need to remove these 4 fasteners right here. So it just takes a bit of pulling. Even a child like me can do it. I'm going to put that down here for now. And let's take a look at what we're dealing with. So to remove to get to the strut, what we're going to do is we're going to remove this side panel. So let me explain. There are 4 fasteners that we have to deal with. Flathead, 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 and pry. I'm not sure if you have to do this, but for the sake of the video, we're going to flip down the back seat, not only so that we can remove the mat, but also so that if we want to get some videos from the inside of the car, we'll be able to access it. So I think what we have to do is we have to pull these. As you can see, they have something that looks like you're flipping a seat. And I'm guessing that when we go in here, hey, all right. So what happens is that you can actually just pull it down. And I'm not sure how that's going to work with the seat belts, but I think that should be alright. In order to remove the mat, you get some leverage under each side and just pull. Alright, so what we're dealing with is two fasteners, really tiny actually, and they go in these two holes. And what we can do next is, well, take it out from the other side. Like I said before, you don't have to do this. Alright, just for the sake of the video, let's take it out. Now we can get a clear view of what we're dealing with. So I'm going to try to do this one at a time. On the driver's side, there are 3 fasteners that use screws like this. Flatheads, one here, and one up here. There's a last fastener that you use a pry bar to take out. Alright, first we're going to start with the flathead ones. Now, I got a big flathead for this, but I'm pretty sure that a small one will work because, as you can see right here, they're actually very loose. So I mean, if your fingernails were long enough, you could probably even use your fingernails to take it out. That's what the fastener looks like. It looks like any screw, but plastic. We should probably put this somewhere safe. Put it down here. Okay. I guess that was from our last video. Go check that out if you want. One over here. And you might push it back in if you press too hard, so just try to be gentle with it. This one doesn't seem to want to come out at all, so we're going to try to wedge it under and see if that. Just gonna get it out, because you can see right here that it's actually not rotating out, because the female part or the receiver part of the fastener is rotating with it. Now, if the whole assembly, both the male and female end of the fastener don't seem to come out, just use a pry bar. What the heck? Where'd that go? Oh, wow. So, I think I used a bit too much force there, and that just disappeared on me. Hold on. Oh, that's not good. Alright, so no worries about that fastener that we just lost. It went under the seat. But even so, we're actually going to check out the entire assembly, so you don't have to worry. Especially because fasteners, as you can see right here, are easily replaceable. Just gotta find the right size. Obviously this is too big. This one fits just right. But regardless, we're going to continue taking out the rest of them. So we already took out all the screws. So you can see that we're able to pry off a bit. And now we're going to use the pry bar to take out this last one. That's what it looks like. And now I think we should be able to take it off. Let's try it. Oh, okay, I have no idea where that came from. Just gotta finagle it out. And you can see there's a flap right here that's just a bit obscured. You just need to finagle that out. And from the back, there's also this little bit that's wedged in here. Or actually, what we can do is pull it back. And you can see from here, you can access it. So you don't have to take off the entire thing in order to access the rear strut. The next step is we're going to actually take out the top nut. Now, when we are taking this out, the first thing we should do is put the jack under the suspension so that it supports it, so that it doesn't completely fall out. Another precaution we should take is to put PB blaster, especially in our case, we have 200,000 miles without replacing this, so that we can take it out easily. The final precaution is, of course, to wear the right safety goggles. I'm wearing glasses, but just in case the suspension pops out at you, wear some safety equipment. So I'm going to take the jack and pop it right under here. Maybe let me tighten it, and it should be able to support the suspension. Alright, here's the procedure. By the way, I don't know if it really matters the order, if you take out the top first or the bottom first, but we're going to take out the top nut first. But the procedure is to take a hex socket. This one is a 5mm, and we're going to stick it into the top here. So what that hex nut does, that hex socket does, is it prevents the entire rear strut from spinning. Because when we try to do this is a number 14, by the way. When you try to loosen it, okay, that was a bad example. When we try to loosen it, hold on. This was a bad example because it loosened when you're trying to loosen it. But what's supposed to happen is that if it's tight enough, when you try to loosen it, the entire thing is going to spin. But as you can see already, it was able to loosen. Right now, what you're going to do is take out the hex socket and take a ratcheting wrench and insert it on. Alright, now we're going to put the hex socket back on. Alright, I guess that doesn't really matter when we're trying to loosen it now that it doesn't spin anymore, but just in case. For now, we're going to leave this set up right here, and then we're going to take off the bottom one. For the bottom one, what we're going to do is we're going to take I think this is a 3/4 inch socket, an extension so that we can reach in, and I think this is a 14mm bolt, and we're going to use a breaker bolt. Okay, so next step is to fix it on. Now, it's a bit tricky for both of us to see this. So this is a terrible angle because I can't really angle it. Wait, hold on. Actually, I can angle it. Right about here. No. Alright, so we're gonna have to start right here. And now we're going to Alright, now we're going to loosen it. At this point, I should get a good enough space to fix it on so that I have more space to turn. And now that we loosened it, we're going to take off the socket and the extension. I should have taken off the extension actually. And we're going to use a regular ratchet wrench. Fix that on there. This is a bit of an awkward angle because of the camera, but you might be able to see that the bolt is leaving the thread and it's coming out bit by bit. It's kind of hard not to use the Milwaukee, especially because it looks like that's going to take a lot of elbow grease. So this is my favorite power tool, so we're just going to use it. And you should be able to get a good sense of how much you need to do it by hand. Hold on, I have to loosen it just enough so that I can be loosened by this. There we go. Alright, so now the bolt is completely loose. It's left the nut or the threading. So now what we're going to do is we're going to leave the bolt in here and we're going to focus our attention on the top bolt, the top nut, remove it, and then remove the bottom bolt. You can do it in however order you want, but for the sake of this video, that's how we're doing it. Alright, so instead of using this setup, we're going to try using the Milwaukee because it looks like it has enough reach. And I think the Milwaukee should be able to compensate for the spinning thing. But we don't know. But we want to save time, so we might as well see. Oh, wrong way. What the? It looks like it's going inward. I guess not. That's weird. So I was caught off guard for a second. I was wondering why the nut wasn't going upwards, and I thought it was because I set it to the wrong setting for the wrong rotation. But what's actually happening is that the entire unit is actually going down. And you'll see what that looks like. So you might have noted the height of that. Alright, so it looks like the Milwaukee doesn't work. Maybe because it's rusty, but it doesn't matter. We already know how to take it off. I mean, I could probably fit in this car, but we'll speed this up so that it doesn't take up too much of your time. Oh my god. Thank God for the ratcheting wrench, because if it had a regular wrench, I would just die. Oh my god. Okay. If only the Milwaukee worked. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. This is so warm. You can't feel it, but it's really warm because of all the friction I put on this. And you can see all the PB blaster we put on that. So, I think they also recommend to replace this bolt, but I think on the new one, we have a replacement bolt and nut, so we should be fine. Alright, so next step is to take this little metal ring out, or it's probably a washer, but just remember that the ridge right here is facing upwards. I'm going to put that down here. The next step is to take out the bolt. Now, theoretically, it shouldn't be that bad. I might have to hold. Yeah, it's not that bad. It's really easy. Just take that out. This should naturally fall down. Put that aside. We're not going to need that because we're replacing it. And let's see. I think we just have to finagle this. We have to compress this as well. Oh my god. Oh, that is so weird. The feeling when it compresses is... I don't know how to describe it, but... just finagle it out of there. Okay, let's... Whoa! It looks completely destroyed right here. Alright, let's see just how well this is good at shock absorption. So it takes a while to spring back. So it's definitely a good thing that we replaced this, especially after 200,000 miles. Alright, so here's a comparison of the old and the new part. The new part is branded the KYB brand, and that's a very highly recommended brand. It's one of those premium aftermarket brands. Now, they have two types. They have the regular type and the XLG. XLG is really what you want to go for. It's the performance one. Don't get the regular one. I've seen the reviews on it. So just go for XLG. Now, the genuine price for these is $125, I think altogether. So the price for the aftermarket KYB is $70 together, so that means $35 a piece. And I think the aftermarket price is $100 altogether, but my dad was able to get it for $70. I think I got one of the things wrong. The actual price for the genuine rear shock absorber is actually $125 a piece. So these new aftermarket ones, these premium ones, are $35 a piece. So that means they're like a third of the price of the genuine one. If you remember in our video on the front shock absorbers, or the front struts, we got the cheapest brand possible. It was Chinese made. The genuine went for around $250 on the front strut, but we decided to get a cheaper $60 strut. Alright, it's even made in the USA, so that's a huge difference. On the front strut, we use the Chinese-made, cheapest quality you could find. But the thing is, the driver's comfort is not as important as the passenger's comfort, especially. So we used the best we could find, although we still tried to stay on budget a bit. But KYB, highly recommended. Like I said, $70 altogether. So let's see just how good the suspension is. So let me just take this off. There we go. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, let's extend it. Okay. Let's see how good this is at suspension. Ooh. Oh, that was nice. Okay, hold on. Okay. Let's do both of these side by side. And it looks like this one is gonna take a while to get up here. So as you can see, the XLG KYB rear shock absorber seems to win out in this battle of parts. So like I said before, highly recommended. Alright, now is the moment where we put back the new part.